Trendler purchased their first fax machine, what year would you think?
I want to say it was in the 80s or 90s, probably the early 90s. I don't know.
Maybe that's what we...
Well, you were always on the leading edge, so I would say
Last year, we just got our first
October of 1987.
okay, I was going to say shortly
How
after
did
they
you
And
know
came
we,
out.
that?
and we paid $700 for it, and we had to have a meeting to see if we would approve the funding or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, putting it in perspective.
You are a wild spender. I mean, 700. But
Well,
I think
back then it
about
was
it.
a lot of dough.
Welcome to another episode of Brothers, Battles and Bounty, where business, your future success, and family converge. I am your host, Andreas.
I'm Stefan.
And I'm Martin. You want to do it this time?
Sponsored by Trendler in Chicago.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you. We are in season 2, episode 17. Welcome.
Wow, that's cool.
It's awesome. We're getting there. Racking them up.
Milestone.
So, hey, we're going to be talking today about the subject of trade show selling, trade show organization, how the impact of trade shows, what's the purpose of trade shows, etc., etc. So I'd like to just say, as an intro, Trendler, us as a family business, we've been doing trade shows for the last 35 years, 40 years.
I
Started
came
in
on
the
board
80s.
1985,
Yeah.
and we would have done our first trade show in 1986. And since 1986, I myself personally have been involved, managed, implemented over 100 trade shows.
Because we were doing, since 86, we were probably averaging, say, 4 to 5 trade shows a year.
We were up to 6 and 8
Right.
a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
4 or 5 we started. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely wonderful. I remember this was all before, the internet and the modern age of so to get in front of your customers, you either mailed them, called them on the phone, sent them a fax, joking, haha,
No.
or went to the trade show, and that's where or
Trade
visit
show
them
was
direct.
really the
Trade show was the ultimate catalog meeting.
So just to put something in perspective, Trendler purchased their first fax machine. What year would you think?
I want to say it was in the 80s or 90s, probably the early 90s. I don't know.
Okay, that's what we think.
Well, you were always on the leading edge, so I would say
Last year, we
Last
just
year.
got our first
October of 1987.
How
okay, I was going to say shortly
How
after
did
they
you
And
know
came
we,
out.
that?
and we paid $700 for it, and we had to have a meeting to see if we would approve the funding or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, putting it in perspective.
You are a wild spender. I mean, 700. But
Well,
I think
back then it
about
was
it.
a lot of dough.
Yeah, it was. And joking aside, it just shows the magnitude of technological
Progress.
changes.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say progress.
I
I'm
mean,
not sure. Of course, it's
you
progress.
look at the trade shows back then,
Mhm.
that was really the only way to get your company in front of thousands, not millions, but thousands
Mhm.
of potential buyers.
Yeah.
Now, you've got the internet. You're exposing your company to millions.
Well, so the distinction, which we don't think about, okay, but we're going to share with our audience today, is the trade shows were very popular because there was no internet.
Right.
There was no
No,
internet.
no.
So we initiated our trade show strategy from 1985 to 2005, and we did over 100 trade shows. Okay, and they were very effective. You were involved directly. You were involved directly. You were part of our lives. Okay,
Mhm.
we worked, we went, we traveled, we had a blast.
All
Yeah.
over
Oh,
the
it was
world.
fun.
All over the world.
Yeah.
We
We did
developed.
Germany.
We went to
did-
German international shows. We went to Mexico. We went to Canada. We were all over the U.S. Our trade show strategy changed. When did it change? Any idea?
probably
After
right.
we got the fax machine? No, sorry.
Wrong.
I would say probably like 2006.
So the key thing was the
Was I right?
internet.
Am I
the-
right?
You're right on. Okay.
Okay.
As
The
always,
the internet.
you're very smart. That's
Okay,
why you
so-
lead the company, of course.
What happened was internet showed up. I'm not sure 99, 2000, early 2000s became more and more prevalent. Okay. And we got out of trade shows because everyone was using the internet to do their websites and different things, do the same thing for so much less money. Okay. Because trade shows are expensive, the travel, the booth, the setup, the hotels, the
Just everything.
the cost of the product, the shipping,
One of the things I want
the
to
drayage.
interject about this transition from the trade show selling to the technological internet version is I think it left a major void in the level of interaction with business leaders and people. You would literally meet face to face. You try to get a lunch appointment. You'd go to dinner. Everyone would be congregated and talking and,
Mhm.
belly to belly, having real life conversations about real stuff. And there was a buzz, there was an energy and excitement. Technology comes along and it
wiped it out.
It wiped it out to where now it's more
You're
of
looking
a
at
code.
a page with no face to it.
Right.
And
the
no-
emotion, the sense of
And it worked, and it was effective. It worked.
It's a lot
And
cheaper.
it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think, fast forwarding to, 2024, 2025 for us, Trendler, and I think the market too, is we're starting to see the blend being the popular direction, blend being
Mhm.
the internet, the websites, still very, very important. But then that face to face, people want to put faces to who they're buying from, because you go on somebody's website and all you see is their pic. You have no connection to it other than the pictures. But
Right.
when you start, the humans need interaction.
Yeah.
And I think the combination of the trade shows and the websites and the internet and the AI and everything is what we need to be focusing on, because I think that's going to be a powerful joint venture going forward.
Yeah. So what you're tapping into, I want to kind of do that journey of where we've been, where we are, where we're going. Okay. Because I think it's important. And you're going already into, where we are right now. Do you guys remember some of the dinners and parties we had with the sales folks
oh my
and the
gosh,
speeches?
the
And
presentation.
what do you remember?
Who is the guy?
McLean.
Kojak? No. Who's the guy in Toronto?
That was McLean.
No.
Oh,
no.
Kojak.
Kojak, right?
customer.
Oh, you're talking about the
the
customer.
bald guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he was with
He
the
was a
dinette
customer, yes.
manufacturer.
So to your
Anyway,
point, what
yeah,
do I
we'll
remember?
get into that.
What I remember.
Hold that thought, because that's a good one.
What I remember was it was an event. It was a unveiling. It was putting your best foot forward. Yeah, we had the trade show. Certainly we're there. But then there was the prep beforehand, the pep rally, the let's get going. This is our objective. We want to communicate with these are the top one lists, and we got to see if they're going to be here. Invite all of them, see what you can do to get them there. And then afterwards, the dinners and
Getting to know each other personally.
people
and
giving
it just-
speeches about what the experience was like and in front of everybody. It was almost like a wedding in a way. And that's kind of my, pea brain way of summarizing it. It was a celebration that people were, the main event was growing the business, but the culture of the company, the focus of where the company was, its vision was almost, it was given because you're there to grow the business with these people.
And
but
they were
that's
the
what
key decision makers.
Mhm.
We were always interacting both at the show and then afterwards, dinner stuff, with the key decision makers of companies.
Amen.
And though that was powerful.
And what do you remember? I think I'm sensing
Yeah. So
expression.
the amount of energy required to do the trade shows in the manner with which we did them was exceptional. Okay. It may have seemed you guys
It
were
was an
involved.
event.
It was an event. It was a 3-4 day event. And there was eating and drinking and talking and laughing.
Interacting
and
with the
crying
competitors,
and everything.
interacting with seeing them face to face.
Customers.
Competitors' booth 10 times the size of
employees.
ours, but we're like,
We'd walk into their booth. and
yeah, hey, what's this? Yeah. I mean, but you were there.
We were interacting.
Being able to share your thoughts, your visions, interacting. Mom, dad, I mean, us as brothers, family business, our brand.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Do you have any particular memory that comes to mind when you're thinking about the dinners? You reference the dinners. I don't know if it's there was a point there.
I think the distinction that I'm trying to get at with why I mentioned that is comparing it to what is today, what we're doing today. Okay. COVID, we talked about the internet. Okay. So we disengaged from trade show selling because we were spending, a good 8-10% of our marketing, but we were spending $100,000, $150,000 a year on trade shows.
Right.
With everything.
And
There's a lot.
everybody stopped the entertaining. Everybody stopped.
Whoa,
Hey, you want to go to dinner?
I look at the financial.
you
your
guys-
guys,
So
your guys' entertainment budget is bigger
Well,
than it was when we
mine
were doing
didn't
trade
change, but,
shows.
So it evolved down. But what's happening, okay, for us anyway, is we're starting to realize what we did before, what's going on now, what the question still is, what do we want to do? COVID also changed the way we do business. Okay. It accelerated the lack of interaction and
Isolationist
isolation, but it's almost 5 years since COVID, February 2000.
Our
2020.
transformation was the same transformation that a lot of companies went
Yes.
through. We have one of our most favored customers met us at the Chicago trade show, and we were talking to them about trade show selling like we are now.
Yep.
So when's the last time you were? Oh, I haven't been in 8 years, 7 years. So they haven't done it either.
Correct.
So it's an industry thing. It's not just a Trendler thing. And now the evolution seems to be, to what Marty, you had indicated, kind of a hybrid where it's certainly trade shows. It's certainly
Well, how many people did we see at the show that were like, oh, it's great to put a face to because you look at the internet, and you look
the
at
one
somebody
looked at you and
Yeah,
said
it was
not
like-
so much.
Yeah, because
Said,
you
"Can we
might want to
just look
keep
at
him
it on
at
the
home,
internet?"
right?
there's another tic tac.
Yeah, right. But no, you're right. You're right. I mean, like it was, and the conversations you noticed, everybody was enthusiastic and energized to just engage in face-to-face conversation.
Or take a look at what you can do with a website. You can make your company look like, I mean, and then you would, there's some websites that look like, holy cow, this company must be multi-million dollar. And then you go to their address and it's a PO box.
Yeah.
They're not even, so you're able to deceive.
The distinction.
You
the
can
company.
deceive your audience or your buyers based on how you fluff up your website to make you look like more than what you are.
Yeah.
And, visual is very powerful. It's like, oh, that website looks so much better than the other one. I'm going to buy from that one, when actually it's not the best choice.
That's a great point.
So
It's authenticity.
You start meeting the companies that are out there, and you start realizing that a good percentage of them they're just popping up. They're not even making anything.
Right. Good
Just
point.
reselling.
So the summary is from 85 to 2005, we did 100 trade shows. From 2005 to the present, we just did 2 in 2025. Prior to that, we haven't done really maybe 1 or
We did
2 or
3.
something. Which was the third
Orlando was one.
Orlando,
one? Oh, yeah,
Texas,
third,
Worth,
3. Yes,
and
Fort
then
Worth,
Chicago.
I forgot. Yeah, so the point is we just started back up again in 2025.
But that's just for the promotional stuff. I mean, there's trade shows, for
One
all
of
the other
the
products we do.
ones I think we ought to consider, and this is, maybe this is not the place to talk about it. So nobody tell
Nobody's
anybody.
listening. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Is like in the commercial furniture space, the NRA, that's like a monster.
So we,
and
Yeah.
but we've always been, that's just there's just, I'm excited about what I'm trying to say. The future is wide open, and the trade show selling, I think, is definitely a strategy to continue and embark on. I think we've gotten a little taste of what it is with the promotional market shifting to go to the other in Vegas, the other PPAI might be, you don't know until you go there, but that might be the one for promotion and the other kind of start evolving. Regardless, the thing is you get out there, you see. And
But I think trade show selling, I think, is coming back.
Yeah. Well, we're right now in the process of our strategic planning in the fourth quarter, where we put together our budgets and strategies, and we have the opportunity to discuss, what are we going to do? And what I've put together preliminarily, so don't say anything, okay, before. But for us to do the Chicago show, ASI, which is a good show, continue to do the PPAI show, which is the Vegas show, the big one. Both are promotional. The restaurant show in Chicago, we just missed getting in there. They had some spaces, but they were so. But in May of 2026, the Chicago show.
That's which one? That's the
restaurant show in Chicago.
National Restaurant
Association.
NRA. Yeah.
NRA is what it's called.
That's a whopper.
NAFM is the other one, the one that we used to do in Orlando all the time. It's every other year.
Right.
That's
it's
the
a
National
commercial
Association of Furniture Manufacturers.
Equipment manufacturers.
Equipment manufacturers.
And then the one I would add is the restaurant show in New York, which is in November at the Javits Center. So anyways, those would be ones I'm going to be proposing to the team.
So you're ready to get that as part of the presentation you're going to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
And so I have to put budgets together and different things. And but talk about them. So really trade shows we really haven't done many trade shows since we transitioned from swivels and accessories to chairs and bar stools. And I think the timing of expanding into the chairs and the bar stools with our trade show selling, in addition to the other marketing mixes that we have, is going to be very effective.
And, us brothers, doing the trade show, we love communicating with people.
It's fun.
Okay. We really, really like it. And we turn it into an entertaining event.
Yeah.
And,
expand on that. What's entertaining for you?
So, okay,
give us some examples.
You go to a trade show. Okay. You walk through there and you go to one booth and the person's sitting there. Oh yeah. Can I help you? Oh yeah. Let me badge your thing. Okay. And some of them will be a little bit more engaging, but when people come into our booth, they don't even have to be in our booth. They just be walking by, and we just start, engaging and having fun, and hey, what's and then it just drops the guard down, and people come in and they just start,
what would you attribute
up.
that to? Why is that?
Me?
Well, that's obvious.
And
You're dynamic, the animal magnetism that you exude. No, it's actually the point. So all of us have.
You do have a lot of fun at the show.
Yeah,
and you are fun. Yes.
It's yes, we do have fun.
Yeah,
and I think it just makes everything more. I mean, we had people coming into our booth that didn't do any of the products we were displaying, but then all of a sudden we're like, hey, we should be doing something like that, and we get them to kind of open up, and I think you gotta have the communication skills and the personal skills to communicate, because there are you think of the thousands of people we met at trade shows, every single one of them is different.
Yeah.
Each person has their own personality, their own, fears, and their own, I can't talk to anybody. And we're able to get them to drop that guard and come in and,
that's a great point.
Start.
So that's a big part of our brand, welcoming and helping add value. The family, become part of the family, ultimately helping them solve their problems and grow through whatever they're growing through products. And because if you look at what we do, we create products for what they want. I mean, we have a product lineup, but we also will create what they want that we don't have. What are you looking for? Oh, we could do that. I mean, that's another.
And yes, we're the owners.
Yeah.
They're talking with, I think Ira said it when he was on the podcast. He's like, what is, hey, if you were to give us a compliment when he was doing the podcast at the show, trade show, if you were to give Trendler a compliment, what would it be? And what did he say? He said,
your prices are too high. Lead times too long.
Besides that, he said I could pick up the phone and I could call either one of them. It doesn't matter what time or what day
or what country they're in,
and they will answer my call and talk to me.
Yeah.
Personal.
And it's it's just human nature. You go into a company and you're able to talk to the people that actually own it. You just feel like, hey, I got a connection, whether there is one or not. It just feels like, you have a connection.
That is a big part of
personal.
I would agree. Yeah. And I think the trade show selling is more naturally aligned for us in the promotion of the company and our products. Because when we're talking to people straight on, are we marketing experts? Yes. But when we're talking to people, you realize, okay, it might not be in the catalog, but it just, you're able to fill in all the blanks that the marketing can't present.
But when you send, the message, I think, to companies that are, considering trade shows is, it's difficult, but sending people to represent your company is probably the most critical decision you can make in trade show selling. Because that's the impression that customers are going to see when they come to your booth. And if you have somebody there that is really not interested, I pulled the short end of the straw and I got to do the trade show, their body language is going to show it. And it's going to represent your company, which is obviously nobody wants that, but picking the right people to do the shows, that's
what do you guys think about in the trade shows? They always have those forums, formats, a little pre-show speeches and all that. I think it'd be cool if we could step into that arena a little bit.
And do
be a speaker, be one of the speakers at the events,
or have us as a panel up there.
No, right. That's what I mean.
Passing the mic around,
let's consider something like that. At least try one, maybe two next year. And I think
what's the worst case? They throw us out
again.
We've been thrown out of better places.
We've been thrown out of better places for sure.
But in addition, all those things are in play for us. It seems obvious. The more exposure we can get to do things that we excel at, but also to have celebrations like we did years ago. Celebrate.
I missed that.
Have certain events to celebrate with our team. Okay, and customers, different vendors, and all the different things.
When you said that, it almost struck an emotional chord for me. And what I mean by that specifically, the celebration of going to trade shows, everyone's like, oh, I got to be home by this. I got this. So to your point, you're at the trade show, but you're already, your mind is somewhere else, where the celebration is this, we're here for this. And you get together and you have the dinner and, somebody might drink too much, which certainly would never be me. But you get to see people in their full glory and, but you're hanging out. You're just spending time. You're investing time in the team and the people you want to be with.
Along those lines, we went out when we were in Fort Worth. The company,
ASI.
ASI.
Yeah, Tracy.
Shout
out to Tracy.
Shout
ASI.
out Tracy.
Woo, Tracy.
We went to dinner with her.
Yeah,
and it was awesome. We just got a chance to share things that. You normally,
got to know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, as people. Yeah.
At the show, it's like, oh, hey, how are you? Business, But then when you're out at dinner, you're just kind of
celebration. You have a chance to let your hair down. Just be who you are. Talk about whatever, that's cool.
Get to know everybody and just
well, and you touched on it in your talk about your book, significance of human capital, people.
Yeah.
I just came back from the Vault conference down in Orlando, and Tony Robbins was the speaker.
Who was the Vault conference was?
PBD down in Orlando.
David.
Yeah, it's called the Vault conference.
Yeah.
It's the 5th year they've had it, but one of the main speakers was Tony Robbins.
Yep.
And
I've been to every Tony Robbins thing that he's created.
So his message that he shared, which applies to what I'm talking about, I get to this point, is that
are we talking about banana hands?
Yeah.
You remember that from the movie?
I don't.
Oh, he was in a movie with Jack Black and
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. And this is funny. The premise of the
I hope
movie
so.
was so Tony Robbins is a motivational speaker, motivational.
yeah.
So the movie starts out where Jack Black goes in an elevator and Tony Robbins goes in an elevator together.
Okay.
And he sees him, and Tony Robbins just starts sharing him. Listen, your world is based upon whatever you see.
Yeah.
It's not what you. So if you look at things the way you want to create them, then you will realize. And he leaves and he shakes his hands. He goes, "Oh, his hands are like bananas, whatever." So he shakes his hand and goes out. That's the beginning of the movie. And he sees this woman, Jack Black. Now the movie unfolds. This beautiful, shapely, perfect woman in the eyes of, you know, a man who's into that sort of thing. But in reality, she's this ogre, you know. So everyone sees this woman for who she is, but he sees her as beautiful, and the movie ensues. So Tony Robbins' effectiveness in helping people see the world the way they want. He's awesome. Anyway,
Well, he owns like over 100 companies, some billions of dollars
his
worth
story
of
is
value.
phenomenal. Yeah.
But what he mentioned was the significance of every company has the growth and success is based on the quality of their people being engaged, having employees, engaged employees. And they said number 2, which is right behind number 1, is getting rid of employees that are disengaged. Because not just because they're disengaged, but because they're creating other people that
The
are
rotten
disengaged.
apple spoils the bunch.
So when you're creating a world where your employees are enjoying and relaxing and having fun and a part of something,
taking risks, sharing, saying,
in
you know,
a celebratory environment with the company brand and different things, that's magical.
amen.
Okay,
Amen,
so
brother.
that's in essence what trade shows can do. We don't have to wait for a trade show to have an event, but it's a
Right.
great time to have an event, recognize some people, and
if
create some
somebody's
excitement.
traveling, employees are traveling there. It's like you're out of your element.
Invite
you're-
their spouses,
all
and
of that
so they
great
can
stuff.
see
Yeah,
a recognition.
yeah.
Anyway, there's
Yeah.
a lot of opportunities for us, but in trade show selling that we can add to our mix, which I'm going to be recommending.
It's
the-
about time.
the
How many
other
years
thing-
do you- I mean,
waiting for.
come on.
I know.
Jeez,
I know.
man, slacking.
The other thing is one of the key stats from trade show selling, you guys heard me say this over and over and over again, is that we went on the road in 2012 and we visited 75 people in a week, and on the road, being on the road, traveling, being road warriors.
Well, you
okay?
saw the corporate office of
Right.
the
The
hot dog
stand.
franchise.
Yes.
right?
That we
Then we
drove
drove
3.5
3
hours from the
Now you
interstate
know
to
the
pull up
value of
to
that.
Johnny's hot dog stand
Right.
with the
So-
no dine in, just a drive.
So traveling
Not
on
even
the
drive, you had to
road,
walk up.
the message is the cost per contact right now is in the $500 range per contact. Okay. At a trade show, the cost per contact is 20% of that. But the most important stat is the close ratio. You will close a person that visits your trade show in 1.2 visits afterwards. Okay.
Versus
5 or
10.
6 or
Yep.
7
Yep.
average.
Yeah.
So it's the cost per contact is the mathematics of it, and the effectiveness of it is pretty phenomenal. It's done the right way.
And the opportunities of having lower cost logistics with the booths that are in like a suitcase size, and you
Yep.
could.
So the
um,
booths
yeah,
now are
right.
are
And
so
And the
with
way
the-
they qualify leads and all stuff is so much
the
more.
other thing that I noticed just from visiting trade shows,
Yep.
which is critical, is the response time from when you visit the show and visit a company and when they reach out to you.
Mhm.
I've been to trade shows and interested in equipment and gave them information, gave them my scan my card, do all stuff, and they never even call me. They never reach back to me. I'm almost like the one that has to,
Yeah.
hey, do you guys remember me from the show? Oh, not really. Okay, well, I'm interested in, I saw so and so, and
Yeah.
oh yeah. So
The process of follow up
the
from the leads
process
we
of
get is
follow up,
critical.
and it's
in a time.
consistent.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, this one show did it. All the different shows I've gone to as a visitor, it's like I have to extract responses.
And you're the potential
And
customer.
I'm the potential customer. Right.
So considering a number of factors, one of which the interest of time and the subject matter of trade shows,
Mhm.
I think we've covered a lot. And first of all, I was wondering if we can give a shout out. Do we know the name of the company that did our trade show stuff?
Divine Sign.
Divine Sign. We want to give a shout out to them.
Shout out to
Located-
Divine Sign.
Located-
Cole at Divine Sign,
Located in Schaumburg.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Yes,
Yep, doing a
which-
great
Did an
job.
awesome job.
Yeah. So that
They're working
helped
on
with
our
us.
new booth for promotional. We
Yeah.
should
Love it.
be seeing something very soon.
I just want to say I am enthusiastic and excited about participation in future trade shows as well,
Cool.
which is great. And I agree with a lot of things we said. We brought up a lot of things. Closing comment for me is follow up is key. That's something we can really make some major inroads with by enhancing that process and really kicking it. So great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that point. How about you guys? What are you thinking? Closing
I
comment.
just think, I think trade shows, with the combination of, a nice updated website and everything is, I think, at least for the next 5 years or so is going to be the next big, marketing type process for us, at least for our company.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
yeah. For me, well, I'll be putting together a 5-year plan, going through 2030 with trade shows and to, do the reset on the brand, with our Trendler brand of chairs and bar stools that, we've launched.
That's
and
exciting.
along with swivels
That's
and
real
accessories. And also to integrate some HR kinds of recognition of our team and developing of team and
Because with our
participate.
finished product now, meaning we're doing the upholstery, we're doing complete chairs, complete bar stools.
Yep.
I mean, it opens up all
Well,
kinds of trade shows
the
for
whole
us.
Yeah.
made in USA, the whole family, the brothers,
Yeah.
Yep.
the family, it'll all resonate really well with what's going on out there because most restaurants in the US are all family owned businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to encourage them to buy directly from us as the manufacturer
Amen.
is what we need to do because
That's our future.
in addition to everything else we're doing.
Right.
So
Amen.
with that being said, that would, I think, wrap
Yeah.
up this episode.
Yep.
We good?
Yeah.
Wraps up. What I was trying to say is, it's a real tongue twister. Wraps up this episode of Brothers, Battles, and Bounty, where business, family, and your future success converge. This concludes our episode on trade shows. And
Make
please
sure
follow
to
us.
check us out on YouTube, Spotify.
LinkedIn, Instagram.
and Facebook.
Nice.
very good. Yes. So, okay.
Okay.
With that, thank you very much. Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful time. And do not hesitate to contact us with any comments, questions, whatever. We're here from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Till next time.